Hey everybody, welcome to Atlanta Business Scoop with Eli Zandman, and I am back from maternity leave, excited to be back on this segment and talking about all the happenings going on in the Atlanta area, the restaurants and businesses that are opening and closing. And first and foremost, Eli, it's so good to see you.
You too, welcome back. How's the new baby?
He is great. His name's Pierce, and just adjusting to life with two kids. My oldest daughter is just loving being a big sister. It's all going great.
Amazing. Great to hear.
Yeah, the time flew by though, I will tell you.
Oh, I bet.
January feels like it was yesterday when he was born, but that is life, right?
I think last week we talked about a restaurant that has already opened and closed in the time that you've been gone.
Oh no. Oh no. You know, we sometimes see that happening in the Atlanta area. Thankfully, we have quite a few openings to talk about today. One closure. We'll start with the good. Let's start right in Sandy Springs. And this is a place called Chef's Store that is opening. I had never heard of this, but we were talking before we recorded, and this is going to be really catering to folks who are in the restaurant industry who are chefs.
Yeah. So I discovered this store back in 2021 on a trip to Charlotte, which is actually where US Foods, the owner of the store, launched the concept. And when Lidl closed in Sandy Springs in 2022, I suggested it to friends in real estate. You know what would go good there? Chef's Store. So I kind of am going to take credit, though I received no financial compensation. I definitely had the idea. And here we are. Chef's Store has signed a lease to backfill that former Lidl on Roswell Road in Sandy Springs. Given it was a former grocery store, it shouldn't take too long. But as Chef's Store does cater to those in the restaurant industry, it's basically like a miniature Costco of sorts. So everything is sold in larger quantities and at wholesale pricing. It is open to the public, so it is open to whomever would like to go there, but you are going to get a larger quantity of item when going. There is another place in town called Restaurant Depot. They operate on a similar but different model, as you do need to have a membership there. This one, no membership required. So it should be pretty cool. I'm sure lots in the restaurant community are looking forward to it. And given, as I said, it is taking place of a former grocery store, one would hope it could open the next few months, maybe as soon as this fall.
Well, we know how popular Costco is, and people love that concept of getting things in bulk. So I think you're going to see plenty of people that are not in the restaurant industry, just, moms and dads who are wanting to, stock up for their family. I think you're going to see plenty of people packing in there, right?
I think we will, but I don't think they have $1.50 hot dogs. So if you're looking for that, you have to go elsewhere.
Yeah, you cannot beat that. Their pizza's great too at Costco. Now, tell us the timeline here for Chef's Store.
So this is the first one in Georgia, and thus far they haven't really given a firm timeline. But as I said, given it is kind of a backfilling of a former grocery store, there should be a lot of existing infrastructure they can repurpose. One would think this could open by the fall of this year.
Okay, let's move now to Dunwoody, and this is Summit Coffee. Now, there are a couple other Summit Coffees in the Metro Atlanta area, one here in the Roswell area where I live. So tell us about this and when it could be opening in Dunwoody and where.
Yeah, so Summit Coffee is actually out of North Carolina, where they operate several locations. They entered the Atlanta market, as you said, in Roswell, and recently, actually earlier this month, opened a second location in Emory Village. This new one is opening in Dunwoody Village, taking the place of what was recently a women's clothing store, not far from Breadwinner, excuse me. And given it was formerly a retail store, is becoming a restaurant, probably will take some time. Again, one would hope probably late this year it could open, maybe sooner. It's not that big of a space. It's less than 2,000 square feet. But yeah, it's the latest in a string of coffee houses that are opening in Dunwoody. Not long ago, Valor opened, and also Arc House opened. And then obviously they already have Crema, they already have Dunkin', they already have Starbucks. So no shortage of coffee options for those in Dunwoody. But based on reader feedback to our post earlier this week about its opening, a lot of people are excited about having yet another coffee option in the area.
Well, and I understand that because I'm a big coffee person. I've got my second cup right here. Might have a third. I know you are not as big of a coffee guy, but do you have things at coffee shops that you like? Like, are you a matcha guy, or are you just like, no, I'll just skip the coffee?
I do like chai tea, and then I realized there's some sugars in a chai tea. I'm like, this tastes so good. It tastes so good because of how much sugar is in it. So I've definitely cut down on my chai tea as well. Yeah. I'm a big water guy. Water is a great option.
There you go. All right, moving to our final topic, and this one, unfortunately, is a closure. This is a restaurant that was open in Buckhead called Isla Co. And Tell us about when it shut down, why, if we know, and do we know of what could be replacing that spot there?
Yeah, so it's kind of an unfortunate closure. They definitely dumped a lot of money into making this space cool and different, and updating it. It was previously a restaurant, but they made it their own. This was a New York-based restaurant group that came to town in 2022, opening Isla Co. This was to be one of 2 locations. The second one was to open in West Midtown. And honestly, it just never caught on. They claim to have an Australian-inspired menu, which is kind of a head-scratcher. What the heck that means and why that's special. I just don't think they differentiated enough from others in the area and had a compelling enough product to attract enough people on a regular basis. So I think they really struggled from day one. They had canceled those plans for West Midtown soon after opening in Buckhead and were really just focusing on the Buckhead restaurant. We were kind of skeptical of their long-term prospects really from day one, as it seemed just like they were extraordinarily okay is what I would describe them as, which is never a good place to be in restaurants. You have to either be amazing or in some cases terrible, but they were really okay at being okay, and it's a tough spot to be.
Well, all right, Eli. Well, thank you as always for the update. Great to talk to you again and be back. Tell everybody where they can find you when you're not here on Neighborhood TV.
Yeah, so I'm Tomorrow's News Today, TonitoATL.com, also on Instagram, Facebook, and you can find me on LinkedIn too.
All right, thanks, Eli. Have a great one. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, you too.